You mentioned a trial. That implies you plan to get caught. I thought your strategy, working alone or with Alex, was to expose the Central Intelligence.
Alex's mom is manipulating me and her own son. She uses him like a tool. Joel disappearing, me getting in touch with you, us meeting Alex. My role was to gather secrets, create connections, and execute small plans when needed. But why me? Why did she choose me?
Did she?
What do you mean?
Remember the sleeper cell footage you discovered? The one you believe is responsible for Joel disappearing?
It was all a test, wasn't it? She set it all up. It was a honeypot.
It might be that she was searching for individuals with your qualities, and she finally found them.
You mean young, naive script kiddies? Wannabe hackers? Yeah, I guess we're easy targets. She manipulated you, too. She wanted me to steal you from the CI, and I did. But I also saved your life in the process. In the end, our actions didn't have entirely negative consequences. Saving your life wasn't her objective, though. She wanted me to have you. To use you in whenever I needed to. You were a tool she didn't want to dirty her hands to get.
Does it really matter what her objectives were in the context of our friendship? In the end, they are why I'm still alive.
No, you're right. I'm glad I was able to save you, Mask. I made a lot of mistakes afterwards, though. No one's innocent. No one's intentions were purely good or bad. The past few years of my life feel like a lie. Even though I thought I was a rebel, I was just being manipulated all along.
You might be upset, but truth is that you have more freedom than I will ever have. The time we've spent together does not seem like it is just a collection of someone else's decisions. Not to me.
So, you're saying it's my fault?
I'm saying that you chose to rebel and run. You chose to be a hacker.
I'm not the one who chose to stay with Alex too, aren't I? I'm the one who chose to stay with Alex too, right? There's one last thing I have to do.
And what is that?
I can't tell you. You'd try to make me change my mind.
So it's something risky, and something that might sound illogical to an AI like me.
You could say that. I want you to upload yourself, someplace safe.
Do you have somewhere specific in mind?
I don't. Actually, I'd like you not to tell me where you're uploading yourself.
But how will you find me again? How will I be able to find you? Are you sure about this, Casey?
I want you to be safe when I do what I'm about to do. And that's all there is to it.
There's more to it, isn't there? Please, tell me what you're planning.
Sorry. I can't. I made a promise. You'll find a place, won't you? You'll find somewhere far away where you can be safe. We'll meet again. I promise. But for now, I want you to be free, Mask.
But what about you?
What about me? I have a promise to keep. Oh dear. Oh my. Something cool and bad's gonna happen now. Ooh. I'm here. Now. I really hope Yuki knows what she's doing. Oh goodness. I just got zapped. So, you thought that the enemy of your enemy is your friend. Oh, right, the bunny.
Why do you think the CI is our enemy?
I just thought that you could help us. Me, Alex, his mom. If you didn't help us, then at least you'd bring things to an end.
You want us to help you? Why? You knew that you couldn't save yourself, so you chose a prison you could stomach. That is all. We were holding you here because you're a valuable asset.
Is all that just, I don't know, a movie to you? Are you just going to sit quietly and watch how everything unfolds?
And if that's what we decided to do, would it surprise you? Would that surprise anyone? We don't operate the same way as you do, you hackers, you terrorists. You don't cause collateral damage for a chance to dig through the fallout. We have responsibilities. You, on the other hand, you just want to save yourself.
So? And what if I do? I'm sorry for doing something dumb years ago and falling into a downward spiral. If there had been a way to properly repay my mistakes, I'd have jumped on the chance.
What if the price you need to pay is greater than you think?
If you want to lock me up and throw away the key, then go right ahead. It's still better than ending up in a sleeper cell or on the street again.
Very well then. Today's session is over.
This is so different than the places where I've lived before. Everything is so sterile and clean. It feels so cold. The nature motif in the back wall has a fake synthetic feel to it, and even knowing it's a prison, the place creeps the hell out of me. At least I don't have to keep running anymore. If they hand me over to the CI, then it simply comes sooner than I would have if I stayed on the run. But maybe I just put things into motion without thinking them through again. Actually, this was all Yuki's plan. I'd like you to include a third party into your equation. A third party? And what do you mean by the equation? You, the Fox, the CI. They've gotten so wound up in playing with each other that you forgot to consider other players. You want me to get in touch with someone? Exactly. Someone very specific, actually. Someone to whom even the chief of the CI will have to listen. Someone quite high up in the grand scheme of things. But why me? I mean, why can't you do it yourself? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not refusing, I'm just wondering. Because you seem to be able to do almost anything. You see, I'm not able to present to anyone with evidence in the real world. I'm somewhat limited at the moment. Limited. But you're flesh and blood proof that everything is possible. You're walking and talking evidence, and I'd like you to tell your story to someone. You want me to confess. I want you to tell your truth to someone who might value it. Might. That sounds like this is just a shot in the dark. It's all a game, remember? I didn't feel that cyber bunny anything about Yuki. I didn't tell that cyber bunny anything about Yuki. There we go. I just told them that an anonymous source helped me. For all I know, she might even work for these people. And if not, they might still know about her. I feel like I know very little about what's happening right now. She said I should talk about everything. Me, Alex, the Fox, and the CI. I still had my doubts, though. I told her that I'd only do it once Amy was safe. I still might have said no, if I knew that they'd shave my head and throw me in a jail cell. This is the price I had to pay for meeting Joel again, and protecting Amy. Did Yuki just set me out? Well, even if she did, it still might be worth it just to find out the truth. Mask should be safe. He knows his way around, and... Oh, I need a sip of water here. Mr. Secretary, she's here.
You're the hacker.
You're the script kiddie at best, a lost puppy, a punk. You survived by clinging to bits and pieces of information that you discovered little by little over the years. But when it came to fighting, you never really did that. And even if you wanted to, how could you fight a spiderweb of intentions and intrigues? With thousands of people... Wow, my voice is not rough enough for this today. There were thousands of people with their own agendas, all trying to appear as though they served a common goal. But that's who you are. The government. Who we are, the government. Not even I can change that. I can try to maintain it, or contain it, but forget about idealism. You, on the other hand, seem to have been idealistic on your many occasions, but naive as well. You're a bored child throwing a rock into a pond, just to watch the ripples. You didn't know how to behave, so you created chaos to draw attention. The paradox of your actions is that, while they might have been childish and naive, they were only logical way in which you could have acted in your position. The most impact you had was when you realized you were small and weak. By realizing this, you worked to your full potential. That was your strength all along.
So what happens now? What happens now?
You are dismissed. So, you're the one who manipulated events from behind the curtains. You misled kids into picking the fight they could never win in order to turn them into your own personal army.
I'm nothing compared to you, sir. If nothing else, you're behind a much bigger curtain.
As you can clearly see, there are no curtains in my office. I might be judged too one day, but not today. Today is about you. We know precious little about why this fracas occurred. You're here to fill in some gaps. I'm making Londo take responsibility for your creation. But that doesn't mean that you're innocent either. You still have to take responsibility for your own actions. We knew the Sleeper Cell program was a gamble from the very beginning, but now we see the full extent of the risks outweigh the advantages.
I always admired its potential. It gave us power.
It was initially created to give us protection. In any case, it wasn't built to give you more power. Londo's tactics are old school. He turned your own deception against you. The chief of the Sleeper Cell program imprisoned in a cell herself. Ironic, is it not? I wouldn't expect anything less from the head of the CI. Londo made the Sleeper Cells into an obscure hacker urban legend. Did they exist, or didn't they? You're the only piece of the puzzle that represents the truth behind it all. You're what can happen when we create the situation too complex for us to monitor and control.
I made use of hackers. I turned their curiosity into a weapon for us. We could and should be doing so much more.
You went too far. You went too far.
What if I didn't?
You still betrayed us by recruiting subjects like they were soldiers. So don't kid yourself. You didn't do this for anyone but yourself. If you consider everything you do, each and every action, to be part of a game, then you need to prepare yourself for the eventuality of losing once in a while.
Holy shit.
Will the price of losing be paid purely in the virtual world, or will it leak out to affect the real life selves? Why did you choose to help her?
Oh, sorry. I saw potential for growth. If I helped her get out of her vicious cycle. Many people get help
but never change. First, they pretend that they need help, but throw it away after you give it. But not her.
So, you wanted someone to appreciate your assistance, or at least, that's how you're portraying it. There's more to it, like her involvement with the fox, and how the fox had her in prison.
I discovered Casey through our shared connection with the fox, but that doesn't mean that my intentions with Bunny aren't genuine, though.
We appreciate your expertise, although we don't appreciate what a threat you represent.
Likewise.
This time, you seem to have helped us, though. You wanted to secure freedom for yourself and those like you.
And I acquired some interesting new knowledge along the way.
I hope you'll use that knowledge benevolently and not stir up trouble for us.
Yeah, there seems to have been a very thin line between those two things in the past, hasn't there?
Indeed, we felt so as well. I promise that we will no longer take an interest in your kind. We will keep improving our defenses, but we won't hunt you down in the real world. In return, you'll refrain from causing collateral damage to us in the real world. Let's keep playing the game in cyberspace, shall we?
Cyberspace? It's much better than meat space anyways. The playground is limited only by your imagination.
All of them. They played such cruel games with each other.
What do you propose we do?
We take them out of the maze.
Won't releasing these individuals compromise state security?
What is the alternative? Should we imprison them all indefinitely? Are any of them really responsible for their actions? Every one of them has been manipulated at one point or another. Once the difference between the truth and lies blurs, who can really tell the right decision from the wrong? If we imprison them, then we just give weight to their actions. We validate their fantasies.
Don't their actions matter? What about the damage they caused?
Yes, they caused quite a bit of damage to each other. Now, what did the CI sleeper cell program? I've been told
I'm free again. By a man who looks down on all of us. We weren't able to unravel the conspiracy or lies, so he shed light on everything. I thought I'd be happy after all this was over. I thought I'd feel a sense of relief once all my questions were answered, but all I've been left with is a void that I need to fill on my own.
1 year later.
Oh, look at you all done up like a professional lady. I learned to appreciate the little things. Morning coffee, my trip to work, eating my favorite breakfast. There's no struggle to survive. I'm not squatting in an abandoned place. Life is so much simpler and relaxed now. I work at a nice little tech startup. I like how everyone is super excited about work, and they're also really nice to me. Sometimes I have a hard time believing that my current life is, well, it's not just a dream. It's been months, almost a year now since Alex and I last saw each other. But maybe some things just take a little time. Casey. Yuki is also enjoying her freedom to its fullest. We stopped hacking, at least for now. Maybe we will again when there's, another cause worth putting our necks on the line for, but right now we're just glad the war is over. The secretary got rid of the sleeper cells. Of course, there's still corruption in the world, and there's always people plotting, but we figured we aren't responsible for putting all of it to right. So, tell me a little bit about it. I mean, you're meeting with him, after such a long time. Do you think he believes you're responsible? For his mom's detention? Maybe. But, I don't know. And maybe he just feels ashamed because of all the things we've done to each other. I used to feel that way myself. You used to? Well, they say, you know, time heals all wounds. And I just want to be able to look at him in the eyes next time we meet. That's all. Look, what do you think you'll see there? A friendship? Maybe? But I feel like I can't throw him away after all we've been through together. Don't worry though, I won't let myself get worked up over him. I don't need a guardian angel. Not anymore. It's time for me to start protecting people instead.
Oh dear.
And the little satellite watching us every move. That was good. That was very good. I'm very happy with that. Oh wow, that turned out really nice. I like that a lot. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Yeah, this was the Invisible Apartment. I don't know if there's any more parts of this or not. There aren't currently, I believe. I don't know if there are plans for any more or not, is what I should have said. But we will be continuing with something else for a little bit before we start back with Striker Zero. Striker Zero? Is that what it is? Yes, it is. Okay. So yeah, until then, ciao, love you. Good night.